Hi guys, this is my presentation on presentations. So hopefully you'll get something out of this that'll help you get through the minefield of the weeks to come. Let's have a look. You're going to make a presentation. Okay, you're probably not going to be as good as Steve Jobs. None of us is. But at least you're going to make something that's going to be interesting, entertaining, and is going to get your points across. Where do you start? Clearly you start with your real life situation. Now, if you do a real life situation that you're not interested in, then frankly, you're not going to be interested in doing any work for it either. So you're not going to spend any time on your real life situation. So choose something that you care about, and then it'll be fun for you to do. Next, you want to make it contentious. You want to make it something that there is doubt about it. If there aren't any differences of opinion, then quite frankly, why do we bother discussing it? We want something where there's a serious argument about what's going on. Secondly, you need it to be relevant, something that's actually happening. Not only you, but other people need to care. It needs to be something that seriously matters. So, once you have your real life situation, and remember you've got to do that first, then you need to get your knowledge question. Now, this is going to be obvious, but you have no idea the number of presentations that I've seen over the years that either there's no question in the knowledge question, it's just a statement, or it actually doesn't refer to knowledge. And if it doesn't refer to knowledge, it's not a knowledge question. So let's think about the levels of the knowledge question. What do I mean by that? You start with your real life situation. And from your real life situation, you pick something that is related to the knowledge associated just with your real life situation. It refers to the characters, the situations, and the problems that are in the real life situation. And then elevate your knowledge situation. Take it a step above that. Make it a little bit more general so that closely related knowledge situations are also covered by yours. And then make it even more general so that really we're talking about general knowledge issues. And we end up with our final question. Our final question is state something general about the acquisition to knowledge and is applicable not just in your real life situation, but in everybody else's or other real life situations as well. Okay, then you have to link the two together. It must be absolutely clear that your KQ is linked to your RLS. Demonstrate this explicitly in your PPD. Write it down in the PPD. The link is, and explain why answering your knowledge questions helps understand the real life situation. Okay, once you've got those two, the key starts, then we go into the divergent thinking mode. Divergent thinking means you think wide. You reject nothing at this stage. You create a large sheet of paper or a doc, you're sharing it with your partner, and put down every single idea that you can come up with. Both of you put ideas down, lots of links to pictures, videos, articles, quotes. Most of these you'll reject when you start to converge, but get them down there to start with. And then once you've got them down there, remember what you're looking for. You're looking for different perspectives, different ways of seeing the same thing. How different perspectives lead to different opinions. What do we mean by different perspectives? Because it's not the same thing as different opinions. Different perspectives means that people come from a different background, a different experience, or a different set of beliefs. A scientific perspective and a political perspective on the same issue may not be the same. Obviously, a Christian perspective and an atheist perspective might be different. And then we talked about ethics last week. A deontologist and a consequentialist might have different ways of looking at the same situation. Different races, different classes, different professions, different genders, different perspectives can lead to different views. They may not necessarily lead to a different opinion. A Christian and atheist may come up with the same conclusion about a humanitarian problem, but they'll come up with it from a different perspective. Then you're looking for different opinions. That means you come up with a different answer to the problem. They're not the same as different perspectives. You may have the same perspectives and different opinions, or the other way around. But your controversial issue will have at least two different opinions about it, and perhaps more. List them on your planning sheet. And then you need the evidence. What are the facts? You need the evidence to be able to tell whether these opinions have any basis. Look for the evidence. Look at articles, speeches, quotes, TED Talks, scientific references, anything that supports each opinion, and list them all. And then you dissect the evidence, pull the evidence apart. Is there bias? Look for the other cognitive fallacies that we talked about last year, about the way people accept evidence. Is it just a confirmation bias? Is it an assumed authority? What else? You've all seen these tables before of confirmation biases on various different cognitive biases. Look it up again and see which ones of those apply to your situation. Okay, we've diverged, we've got everything out there, but that's far too much for a presentation. So now we need to converge. Let's concentrate on the good stuff. Look through what you've got, discard the bits that don't fit. Try to navigate a story through some of the ideas you have. More time on each idea is better than charging through and fitting in more ideas. Concentrate on your knowledge question, because if you're not answering that, then you're not answering it. You're not doing the presentation. Anything that doesn't answer the knowledge question, take it out. What do we mean by being analytical? Take those opinions apart and get to the bottom of the issue. And then you must link your conclusion back to your real life situation. You have a conclusion that says, this is the answer to the knowledge question and here's how I found it. And remember, your conclusion can be for one side, a for, or it can be for the other side, against, or it can be to say in certain circumstances this, in certain circumstances that, or that it's a split decision for whatever reason. But link it back to your real life situation. What does it tell you about the case at hand? And then, finally, link it to another real life situation, something as different as possible from where you started. If your first situation is political, then perhaps the other one is artistic. If one is to do with conflict, then the other one could be to do with a humanitarian issue or an environmental issue. You need to get that in there to get to the top grade. And remember the time that you've got. If you're 2 people, you've only got 20 minutes. If you're doing it solo, you've only got 10. So you've got to squeeze in a little bit of time for that at the end. And then you've got the bare bones of your presentation. Now let's jazz it up. Let's make it look good. Let's have some fun. We want you to enjoy presenting it, and we want to enjoy watching it. Good presentations have humour, engagement, and fun. Why not put some music in? Why not have costume, role play, anything at all? Go for it. Make it fun and enjoy your presentation. And I hope it all works out well for you. Thanks very much.